Proof that the MonsterVerse version of Mechagodzilla cannot fight two kaiju at once. During the events of Godzilla vs. Kong, we are introduced to the mechanical doppelganger of Godzilla. Created by the film's human antagonist, Mechagodzilla was designed to kill the real Godzilla and then kill any other kaiju that was a threat to mankind. With a skull from Monster Zero, aka King Ghidorah, and a crystal full of energy from the Hollow Earth, Apex was able to achieve this goal. However, unfortunately for them, their mechanized kaiju began to think for itself. Escaping from Apex's laboratory in Hong Kong to lay waste to the city, where it was confronted by the real Godzilla, in which proceeded to engage in violent combat with the mechanized kaiju. And quoting John Alfred Hammond here, it seems like Apex really spared no expense when designing and building Mechagodzilla, as it is armed with numerous weapons like cannons, rockets. It even has a giant laser which is meant to mimic Godzilla's atomic breath. It has a rotating drill on the end of its tail. It has long circular saw blades in its claws, and numerous other painful and devastating weapons to give it the advantage over its foes, in this case Godzilla, as it proceeded to beat the shit out of the King of the Monsters. I mean, look how he massacred my boy. Godzilla writhing in pain. I don't believe it. Man literally beat this man an inch from his life. Now things get interesting when Kong gets involved. Kong comes to Godzilla's aid to help him defeat Mechagodzilla. And this is where Mechagodzilla seems to not know what to do. He's being tag teamed by Godzilla and Kong, and he seems like he doesn't know which one to focus on more. For example here, take a look at this scene. This is like my evidence right here. You can see that Kong has just saved Godzilla's life from being killed, and Mechagodzilla and Kong are fighting. Mechagodzilla gets Kong off of him, and then goes to finish Kong and is attacked by Godzilla. The two of them then proceed to push this guy through buildings, and it looks like it hurts a lot. Mechagodzilla then goes to attack Godzilla, disregarding Kong as a threat, gets kicked, and then he shoots Godzilla in the face and then throws Kong on the ground. He once again disregards Kong as a threat, giving him a chance to regroup and come up with a plan to attack him with the axe later, which ends up being his downfall. What could be said is that, oh, they fucked with him, the humans did, because, you know, they messed up with the computer that was still partially controlling him. No, it's not that at all. He literally gets gang bashed by two kaiju that he doesn't know how to fight. He multiple times doesn't treat Kong as a threat, even though the two kaiju are ganging up on him. And yes, Mechagodzilla slightly malfunctioned when Josh dumped Bernie's alcohol onto the computer, like I said, that was sort of controlling Mechagodzilla, despite Mechagodzilla mainly controlling himself. It caused a little glitch, but I don't think that was enough to make the odds favor the kaiju, because earlier we see Mechagodzilla did not treat Kong as a viable threat, even though clearly the two kaiju were gang bashing this guy, which ultimately led to him being dismantled by Kong. I mean, for a robot, he really wasn't that smart. It can be debated that Mechagodzilla thought that all he had to do was kill Godzilla because Godzilla was already pretty weak from being beaten up, and that he could, after killing Godzilla, turn his attention to Kong and kill him too. But this doesn't make any sense because they were both actively tag teaming him. Ultimately, I don't believe that Mechagodzilla was designed to take on more than one kaiju at a time. Throughout the fight between Mechagodzilla, Godzilla, and Kong, it seems like Mechagodzilla favors Godzilla over Kong, as it doesn't seem like Mechagodzilla sees Kong as a threat through most of the fight until the very end when he's obviously being fucking brutalized by Kong. So it seems like Mechagodzilla is only really suited to fight one kaiju at a time, because more than one kaiju, he starts to get confused. And even though he has all these great abilities, he's got all this armor, he's got tons of weapons, he's able to fly, he's got missiles, he's got bombs, he's got rotating saw blades in his mouth, he's got a laser, he's got a drill on the end of his tail, he's pretty cool and badass, but these things don't really serve him well if he can't take on more than one threat at a time. But let me know what you guys think about this in the comments below. Let me know if you think that Mechagodzilla was destroyed by Godzilla and Kong because he didn't know how to take on two threats at once, or are you more inclined to believe that the reason for Mechagodzilla being killed was because Josh poured Bernie's alcohol onto the console? Let me know all this in the comments below, and with that, do take care, have a great night, and I'll see you in the next video.